From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, don't worry about me, I called ART.
Traffic. Watch for a wreck on K96 westbound at I-135 southbound. It's causing a backup to Hillside Street. Also, there's a crash on I-135 on the southbound ramp at K96. Delays start at the interchange with I-235. And there's an accident on Kellogg westbound at Hillside, which is creating stop-and-go traffic from Oliver Street. From the Accident Recovery Team Traffic Center, that's your Odyssey, Wichita traffic.
Weather. Mostly sunny, breezy, and warm today. High 70 with a west to southwest wind 10 to 20 and gusty. And those skies still may be a little smoky from those western Kansas wildfires. Partly cloudy, 45 tonight. Back over to windy conditions on Thursday. A midday high in the middle 50s. Falling temperatures in the afternoon. Partly to mostly cloudy on Friday and much cooler with a high in the middle 40s. That's your forecast from Storm Team 12. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn.
Download the Odyssey app and listen anywhere.
This is my Odyssey app. There are many like it, but this one is mine. My Odyssey app is my best friend. I must use my app true.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Oh, okay, take it easy. We're going on the air.
This is Sports Daily on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. It is Sports Daily. Should be connecting with Shreyas Laddha here in just a few minutes. Before we do that, TJ, let's talk Shockers for a second. East Carolina tonight, 77-60 the last time they played East Carolina. That one was in Wichita. More of the same, please. Just smother them defensively. That was a game they absolutely dominated the boards. It was a game where Kenyon Giles was really good. I think it was about the time Karan Boyd started to really step up offensively a little bit. The confidence anyway. He didn't make very many, but he took 6 threes in that game. But again, dominate the boards, lock them down defensively, and good things will happen in games like this. Now you got to do it on the road, though.
Yeah, I think that, Paul Mills was talking about the other day with us that Jordan Riley for East Carolina is going to kind of be the thing to watch. Obviously, he's one of the best players in the American Conference, and so that's the one thing that you're able to do at home. East Carolina is a team that has struggled this year, but they're also a team that has won back-to-back games. And they beat Florida Atlantic, who beat the Shockers like a drum. Now Florida Atlantic's skidding, so take that for what it's worth. But
yeah, Riley wasn't very good at the game in Wichita.
They did good against that. That's what they're talking. They did good, trying to smother him.
And my recall isn't good enough. I would assume that becomes, like a Karan Boyd assignment. Just kind of get him out there on him. So we'll see what the Shockers do tonight. They should win. They're pretty heavy favorites, but East Carolina is playing better. Now you got to take it on the road and follow up that Tulsa game. All right, let's get now to our KU talk with Shreyas Laddha as we switch gears a little bit. Shreyas hops in with us here on Sports Daily. Shreyas, good morning. How are you? Happy Hawaiian Shirt Wednesday. I see you still are shopping, still browsing. I get it's a tough decision to pick just one. I understand. You got a lot of options. You got to get just one.
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. KU on the way to Stillwater tonight.
Are you going? Are you going, Shreyas?
I will not be there. Gary will be there, but I'll be at the Arizona trip, so we're alternating for these trips.
Yeah.
This is a
close second to Stillwater, Oklahoma. Arizona.
Always a weird one. It is when you're talking about basketball environments. Oklahoma State's in the top 5 in this conference. They'll show up and be rowdy. I'm sure the Jayhawks tend to struggle there. We were talking about it in the last hour. Boy, this would be a good time for the Kobe to come out in Darren Peterson tonight, right? That killer instinct, that bad guy, public enemy number 1. See if he has a little of that in him tonight. Would be a good spot for it.
Yeah, I wrote about it in my preview. He's had a struggling last 3 games. I think he's averaging like 36% from the field. He had a career low or KU low, really. 10 points last game, 14 the game before that, and I think 19 the game before that. But he hasn't shot efficiently in any of those 3 games. Oklahoma State's a bad defensive team. They're not really a great team overall. Like you said, if this is a game to do it, I think, to get back on track, especially because after this, the schedule gets tougher along the way. They have 5 more games after this, and they probably need to win out or come close to it to have a shot to win the Big 12 title.
I think the biggest thing about this game is just the carryover from the last game for KU. Is there any carryover you think? What do you even chalk that game up to? We talked about that one earlier this week, and it's kind of just like, I don't know, man. You run into that Iowa State team coming off of a loss. It felt like it was almost inevitable.
I mean, I chalk it up to playing in Ames, right? In this conference, wherever you play, I think matters so much more than anyone realizes. I mean, Kansas at Allen Fieldhouse is nearly unbeatable. Iowa State in Hilton Coliseum is nearly unbeatable. Arizona at home is really hard to beat. It just kind of is what it is at this point. If you can get a road win against a good team, that's a big deal. Until Kansas beat Texas Tech, they hadn't lost at home, right? So I think it's just one of those things that the streak had to end eventually, right? And they were due for a stinker, and they had a stinker, and they had a stinker against a good opponent.
They did. Expected. Let me ask you this, going back to your Big 12, because Iowa State's now back in the mix. KU's back in the mix. How much have you been – I haven't at all. I have not been paying attention to the Big 12 race because I just kind of thought of it as out of the question for a long time. And the fact that it is back in the question, I guess it's something we should be paying attention to. I mean, they don't completely control – they kind of control their destiny here. I don't know all the tiebreakers. They get Houston and Arizona. They trail them by a game. Them all, and I don't know what happens with the tiebreaker at Iowa State, but they've got a shot at this thing.
They absolutely have a shot at this thing. I mean, right now I think they're tied with third for the conference with Iowa State, and also I want to say Texas Tech. Actually, Texas Tech lost yesterday, right? So the game now they're not tied with them. I think they're just tied with Iowa State. But that being said, I think Kansas has a real shot in this. Just because they play Houston, they play Arizona. I think my thing is I think they'll beat Houston at home, but they'll lose to Arizona on the road, and that'll probably be the clincher, and they're not, winning the Big 12 title. Because right now, the way it's looking is you can maybe lose one of the remaining 6 to have a shot. That being said, you're going to have a little luck go your way, with Arizona and Houston having to lose twice in the next 6 games or whatever. But Kansas is a real shot. I was looking at it. I retweeted this thing yesterday. I think it said Kansas is a 12% shot of getting the 1 seed for the not NCAA tournament, but the Big 12 tournament. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that Kansas wins the Big 12 title.
On that glass floor they're about to be playing on. I love the glass floor, by the way. I think it's awesome. So on Saturday, the Darren Peterson saga, we haven't spoke since Bill Self kind of debunked all the stuff and went on a tangent to your question. But on Saturday, he only played 25 minutes. You talked about the conditioning going in as he hadn't practiced with the flu and everything that was going on, and also they were down by 20. Is there anything to raise an eyebrow at about that? I imagine if you had the flu for over a week, it should be on the way out of your system, right?
I'm not really I asked Bill about it after the Iowa State game. Is it game flow? Is it conditioning? It seemed like he said it was a mix of both things. I saw people freaking out about his response, and I thought it was a very nothing burger. I mean, I don't know, man. We've covered the Darren Peterson saga so long this year. To me, I didn't raise any eyebrows about anything Bill Self said. Why would he play him in a game? They were clearly out of it, exactly. From the second half onwards. He barely played the other guys too. Doesn't mean they had, cramping or flu issues or whatever. They didn't play their usual minutes. And it's because, they were out of it basically since 3 minutes into the second half.
So what do they need to do against Oklahoma State? We were talking about the role of, let me start that over. Peterson is the best version of this team Peterson with a high shot volume, or is the best version of this team Peterson complementing what we've seen them peak at without him, I guess?
I think it depends on who you're playing, right? Because there's going to be games where he's going to have to just take over because the rest of the guys can't score. Theoretically, if the Iowa State game, if he was better, they have a real shot to win that game, or at least be in a realm of possibility of it becoming a single-digit loss versus a double-digit loss, right? I think the best version of this Kansas team is probably some mix of both, right? Where he's there in high-leverage clutch situations, but he's not taking a million shots a game because, the offense just clearly needs to figure itself out. You want to be efficient more than, high shot volume, I think. And we've seen he can be. Like, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for, Peterson to shoot like a medium amount, or like maybe the second most or the first most on the team. That's fine. But I think there's a real chance they can. It's just, it feels like this constant shuffling in, out, in, out, in, out. And now this, slumping thing, it just adds a different dynamic. I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. Without Peterson, this team is really good. Like, I think they can make a Sweet 16 if everything went right, even without Peterson. But the question is, can you make a Final Four without Peterson playing the entire time? And right now, I have not seen anything to say that Peterson can play 6 straight games without something popping up, okay?
Yeah.
To win a title. But I think that's my biggest thing with this team is I think they're duly talented. I think Peterson's a very talented player. The health issue, the lineup configuration, that now to me is like, are they going to ever really figure it out before the end of the season or by the end of the regular season? I don't know. They could. There's still 6 games, but you really hope he has no more health issues pop up in the next 6 games just because they can get some continuity, remaining.
Yeah, I had the same thought that you talked about at the end there is that, back in November, it's something that we said, like, they'll figure it out by the end of the regular season. Well, the clock is on, and, we haven't really, like, we kind of got like a week of a tease a little bit, and then it kind of went away. Like, just from tonight's perspective, like, as I always say on this stuff, like, there are now Big 12 availability reports. Like, he's not on it. Like, he had the flu. They're saying that it was kind of like it's passing. He got his conditioning. Like, by all accounts, tonight, you should not expect to see Darren Peterson go to the bench early.
I think so. I think you should play at least 27 to 30 minutes a game, ideally more than that. I think before the flu-like symptoms or whatever, he was finally starting to get over the cramping, it looked like, because he had 2 straight games where he didn't cramp, according to Bill Self. And he played a good amount of minutes in those games. I mean, he wasn't great efficiency-wise, but he played 34 minutes a game, and I think both of them. So ideally, this is a game where Peterson plays 32 minutes and Kansas wins comfortably in Stillwater because still, Oklahoma's not that good. I mean, as much as they've had some struggles there, I think they've still won 8 straight against Oklahoma State.
Yeah, sometimes it's just that they don't look good when they play down there. I'm with you. I want to go back to what you said about the Final Four. Can they get there without him? I don't think so. I don't think they can. Yeah. But I just always go back to like the best Bill Self teams, even the championship. That offense ran through McCormick. As many great players as they had, as frustrating as that was at times, I think, for fans, that offense ran through McCormick. The best offenses do. So is there a possibility that Peterson's superpowers are going to be more of like translate to the NBA type superpowers than they do in college? I want so badly to see both at the same time. Like him be great, but not have to be 18 shots ISO ball great to like complement in with this offense that is like when it runs down low and runs outside, like just to add that shooter to me feels like the best version of KU. Not just, oh, Peterson's here, let's let him have 18 shots. Go try to one-on-one somebody for a bunch of possessions.
Well, I absolutely do think, NBA spacing will make his offense better. I also think he'll look better as a ball handler. I mean, like, you go back and watch high school tapes. I'm not going to sit there and say everything's going to translate from high school, but you can see he's a much better ball handler. I mean, right now he has a 1-to-1 turnover to assist ratio.
He turns it over a lot.
He turns it over a lot. Like, he just doesn't look super comfortable as a ball handler. And I don't know how much of that is the cramps, the sickness, the twisted ankle, the quad injury, the whatever, the 5 different ailments he's had this year. But I do think he'd be a little more comfortable as a primary ball handler. But why would you do that with this team? Melvin Council's really good at that. He needs to figure out how to play off ball, and he did it in some games, but not all games.
Hey, buried headlines tonight. This is the first time to go Stillwater since the report about Bill Self thinking about the job came out.
Oh, yeah.
Will he be coming back on the team playing?
Will he return?
Ask some questions. You might have an extra day in Stillwater to see some friends.
Yeah. Go to the creek. Go to the creek. Play some golf down there. Oklahoma Joe's.
All right, Shreyas, we appreciate it. Follow along at SHRE98 at the KC Star. We'll check in with you again next week.
Thanks, guys.
There goes Shreyas Laddha. We're coming right back.